All right, hello, 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 hello. This is the Fast Track FBA support call to help you guys out with your Amazon businesses. So if you are here, do drop me just a hi. Let me know who you are, where you are calling from. Obviously, if you've got questions, there's a whole like 1 hour session that I do with you guys to really support you and your businesses. So I can sit here and talk about mine, that's fine, but I'm sure you'll get quite bored. You see enough YouTube videos from me. So I'm just going to quickly check that we are actually live. If you are here, do drop a hi. And obviously, if you've got questions, please drop it down below. Obviously, I think I've got a 100% record answering every single question with everything I can do. So feel free to ask. Let me just quickly double check. Checking on the old YouTube. So Fast Track FBA. I just want to make sure we can actually go live and it is working. Obviously, if you've got questions, drop them down below. Yeah, I can see myself. Voila, that's great. There's a couple of comments there, so I will do that. I am live, fantastic. And then I just want to check on Facebook as well, because we do stream live to the Facebook group. Guys and girls, if you've got questions, please drop them down below. So we can obviously have that to kind of help you out with that. So the final one I'll just quickly check is the group, my groups, and then I'm going to go to USA. I'll be live in there. Yeah, I can see I am live in there as well. Fantastic, cool. Okay, so this is the Fast Track FBA support call to help you guys out, just to really, live to support you. I'll talk about it. Obviously, I'll talk about my business if you want me to, but we'll just kind of put a big shout out to some people who already said hi. So Veronica has called in. Fantastic. Hey, Veronica, great to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Tom needs to breathe. Slow down, Tom. Ambreen, good to see you. Honestly, welcome. Honestly, Ambreen, I think you've got a lot of questions. Drop them down below. Honestly, ask the questions away. This is why I'm here. So I'm really going to help you out with whatever I can do. Maria said hi. Maria, great to have you. Fantastic. Olivia, hi, you're live. Thank you so much. Honestly, really good. Jessica, I think that's correct. My sale is really slow. I'm guessing you'll say your sales are really slow. Two things are just kind of coming onto your question is if it was me looking at sales, I'm just kind of looking at, I'm just open a window slightly. Oh, it's going to get quite hot. So if it was me looking at slow sales, two things I'd look at. If I'm look at Amazon, we track it daily, we track it weekly. Amazon Seller Central buy box win percentage. Also, so that look at your repricer. You want to see, we track it. We just record it onto an Excel spreadsheet pretty much every week. We're tracking what percentage that is. Now, obviously, the higher the buy box win percentage, the more likely you are to win sales on those buy boxes. And then the other one you want to look at is actually the range of products. So like if in the past you had 100 SKUs and now you've only got like 20, we even went down to 7 in the US at one point, obviously you're really going to struggle. So make sure you got enough product in, which is live and active on Amazon. And you can do Seller Central SKUs active, and you want to just filter it by available right now, not like in transit or fulfillment moving around. It's got to be on sale today. So how many of them, and then also what's your buy box win percentage? They're the two things that I look at. And I know you're saying while they are slow, if you've got the same number of buy box percentage wins and the same number of SKUs and you're still slow, then yes, it's a market condition. But if your active products and buy box win percentage has gone down, for example, then it's not a market condition, it's your products, i.e. you haven't got enough of them in stock and live, or you're not winning enough buy boxes, so you need to be more aggressive. I hope that makes sense. Obviously, there are impacts to both of them, so buying more stock or making a lower margin. So I hope that helps. Jessica, let me know in the comments down below. Veronica's popped in. Hi, it'd be really difficult to find a product to find a product to sell at Amazon because what I have tried to list requires authorization. How can I find ungated products and avoid IP complaints? So IP complaints, first things first, look at like a Fast Track FBA brand checker. That's a really good one. We have a list of all the brands that you want to kind of avoid. If you want to know about ungated products, we created a YouTube video called it's like best categories to start selling in for new sellers in Amazon USA, and it's still valid for UK. Basically, there are certain categories that you really want to source from. So I'd really recommend two things. Number one, probably doing the reverse source method. What you're looking to do is to go to those categories. I think they're like, oh my God, I don't know off the top of my head. There was a video we did about it. Have a look on the YouTube channel. I'll see if I can kind of have a look. Have a look for that. It's like the best categories for new sellers. Go into those categories, find products obviously without Amazon. There are multiple FBA sellers. and then try and find the source. But top tip, once you found one deal, then you do what's known as, and everyone hates me for saying it, storefront stalking. So go find other sellers on that listing, look at the products that they're selling, and then go find them, check them on Amazon, i.e. first of all, are they ungated for you? And then go find the suppliers. Odds on, because one seller's already selling a product which you're ungated in, they'll probably sell other products you're ungated in, and then you find those products by storefront stalking and reverse stalk them, and voila, you get it. So that can help you out. I hope that makes sense, Veronica. As much as I say it, people do, storefront stalking is very common. But also, especially when you're getting started, I'd probably not start with the supplier first and then find the same product on Amazon. I'd start with Amazon first, look for products you're ungated in, and then try and find suppliers for those products, because the majority of the Amazon catalog is gated for you. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know down below. Ambreen, which insurance company do you buy general insurance for USA business? Can you please tell me the last date of that? Okay, so we haven't got insurance yet, to be really crystal clear. We are in the process of getting it now. We've just broken like $80,000. And Amazon on the 4th of November have issued us an email to say we've got 30 days to get insurance. If you ask the question in the group, I'll get John, my ops manager, to share with you like the people we've gone for quotations for, so you can do that as well. Just post it in the Fast Track FBA group, and I'll ask him to like post the names of the people. So post it in the group, but Amazon sends you an email and you get 30 days from that email to get insurance to the standard required. So when you talk about like the last date of that, I don't really know what you mean by it, but basically when Amazon sends you that email, so you need to comply, you've got 30 days from there. So I hope that makes sense. But top tip for you, post it in the Fast Track FBA group. I will tag my ops manager in and ask him to share who we've used, not who we've got it with, but who we went for quotations with, because we haven't actually confirmed yet. So hope that makes sense, Ambreen. Let me know in the comments down below. Mr. Clapson, so good to see you. Hi, Tom, how are you doing? When the 1 million in the USA? Well, interesting enough, I'll give you an update. I had an ops meeting just about 10 minutes ago. So I just finished one through my Amazon side. And USA, we're looking to do 1 million over Q4. But so UK, we're looking to do 1 million over Q4, which is going to be a challenge. I will not lie. I'm looking at the revenues, I'm forecasting, and I'm like, it's going to be really tough. USA, though, we originally planned to do 100,000 over Q4. So the whole Q4 period. But interesting enough, the team, I think they'll like break the £100,000 mark next week. So my ops manager is like, can we put it up to 250,000? So I'm like, yeah. So if you want to know, strategically speaking, 1 million, and you've written pounds there in the USA, which obviously is a bit of a contradiction. I mean, 1.4 million US, but $1 million, if that's what you're after, we're just looking to that over the whole of next year, 2022. That's the goal. So if we beat it, fantastic. If we don't, doesn't really matter. But like 1 million over the year, I'll be very, very happy with. 7 figures in my second year of sales, I'd be super happy. Yeah, hope that makes sense. Terry, how are you getting on? Let me know in the comments down below. So Papa and Nana Valador, I think I said that right. Virtual hug. There you go. Thank you. Really good of you. Cool. Veronica has mentioned, in terms of sales, how convenient is to create a new listing on Amazon rather than matching existing listing? A couple of things. Number one, if the listing already exists in the exact format you want to sell it, it is against Amazon's terms of service to create a new listing, i.e. Google Pixel 4, not an amazing phone. It is, I really like it, it's really cheap. But like this phone, if there's an existing listing for the Pixel 4, I cannot go and create another listing. Now, it doesn't mean there might not be another listing created. Yeah, there will be. A lot of Lego products have them. But Amazon does either two things. They'll start to merge them, or they'll just delete a listing. So long story short, if it's exactly the same, you should use the existing listing. Now, if you create Pixel 4 listing and decide to bundle it with a pen, and that's a whole new listing, then that's fine, because there is no listing that has that bundled together. You will need a new barcode. You will need to obviously put it into Amazon. And the other problem you've got is that when you create the listing, you have no sales against it. And it means that when you search for it, it will turn up on page like 4056. So you're going to have to run PPC. You have to try and get sales against that new listing of your phone and your pen. So you can create new listings. There's a whole nother world to it. It's called like, you want to look at like branding, private label, how they do listing launching. That's kind of the skill set you're using. But long story short, if the product already exists, use the existing listing. You have to under terms of service, and also as well, I just recommend it because of sales velocity. You don't want to be spending PPC money to try and drive listing sales. for something which is just a waste of time. Hope that makes sense, Veronica. Let me know down in the comments below. So Jessica has said, I did that, but it's still slow. And Jessica talked about my sales are slow. So Jessica, I think the question I'm really going to get you to do is it's very hard to diagnose slow sales. And don't get me wrong, we're doing like £300,000 a month on Amazon right now, pretty much. Last month we did 300,000. And I will tell you this categorically, is that while we all talk about like, the market's slow, etc., like that probably represents like 20% of our sales velocity. 80% of sales velocity is just how many different products you have in stock and how much you win on the buy box. That is it. I promise you that. The more we're buying, the more we're spending, the more our sales just go like that. And I'll show you. And the reason is throughout the whole of the time in this graph, there have been times where I reckon, if we say in Amazon, some weeks have been slower than others, or even some months have been slower than others. But you're not going to get a graph like that, if Amazon dips down. Amazon's so big that unless you're doing like 100 million, then you're going to start getting affected by sales, or like you're very heavily into certain lines. Like, if you only have a couple of SKUs but you're very deep, cool. But generally speaking, it's not. If you want my top tip, my advice to you is get a spreadsheet out every week, maybe even every day if you want. Record what the Amazon buy box percentage is, and then also record the number of active SKUs. And we're not talking about active SKUs which are in transit or moving around fulfillment centers. It's actually active SKUs on sale right now. And what you're looking to do is try and understand the correlation between those two numbers and your revenue. If you track that, you'll start to notice, oh, okay, well, look, my buy box percentage is the same. My revenue's gone down, but my active SKUs have gone down. So I'm running out of stock. Okay, what does that mean? Well, I need to buy more stock. Cool. Or actually, I've got more SKUs than I've ever had, but my buy box percentage has gone down. As a result, my revenue's gone down. Oh, well, what does that mean? I need to now be more aggressive on the buy box. Cool. Just track those. Trust me, that's what you do. We track it weekly, and we can see the variation, the correlation between them, and obviously make adjustments. So I hope that helps. Hugsy99, hey Tom, trying to sell a product in nutritions. I added the products to Seller Central, and when I shipped Amazon to FBA, then Amazon sent emails that I need to get compliance documents. You're gonna have to do what Amazon says. I hate to say it. This always happens. Toys and games are a big one right now. They ask for compliance documentations, and the problem is they don't ask it to you immediately. They might wait a while. So you're going to have to get the documents. I think, don't get me wrong, I think even like on the compliance documents for toys and games, they give you a certain period of time that you've got to provide them by. So what you can do is if you just want to be a bit like aggressive, crash the prices, get whatever money you can and clear the product out before that date. And then obviously you're done, then don't restock it. But obviously if you are looking to restock it and you like the product, you're going to have to find the thing. So long story short, 3 options. 1, find the documents. 2, crash your price, win the buy box and get rid of the product. Number 3, return the product back to your warehouse, return it to the supplier. Obviously 4, return to you and just eat it, use it, whatever. That's the only thing I can really say. You have to do what Amazon says. Hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comments down below. Muslim Tours, what time did the live start? About 15 minutes ago. 15 minutes. I do 1 hour, and this is pretty much like London time, 3 o'clock. I'm in Mexico City right now, so it's 9 a.m. for me. So yeah, that's when we start. I do an hour every Monday, pretty much. You can sign up for the next one. Like tomorrow, we'll schedule the next live, so you can just kind of click remind me. So obviously join. You can also put questions in beforehand, so I'll answer them first. Veronica said, if I'm new on Amazon and I create my own list, what do I recommend in order to get displayed in search results and get sales? You've got to, long story short, there's a whole art, science, and black magic to listing ranking. Like, what you're trying to say is, how do I get from like sales rank 5 million to sales rank 1, or towards that? There is a whole art to that, and I'm not an expert. You've got to look in the private label world, the branded, but generally speaking, it'll be PPC. There's recently been a case around a company called Elite Seller. They do some software, I think it is, and one of their software, they create what's known as magic URLs, and they do some other stuff. And basically, magic URLs are now against Amazon's terms of service, and as a result, Amazon basically stopped their data connection to Amazon because they were doing black hat stuff, so or they weren't compliant. So you've got to be very careful. Even little things like, and I just give you an example of like how compliant you've got to be. When you write when you ask someone for a review, the normal thing would be like, if you enjoy the product, please feel free to give us a review, or please give us, like that. Please feel, if you enjoyed the product, please feel to give us a review. Well, interestingly enough, what you're saying is, if you enjoyed the product, or if you liked the product, give us a review. But what you're also saying is, if you didn't like the product, don't give us a review. Amazon won't allow that. Amazon say you cannot use positive language. So you say, please give us a review, that's fine. But you're saying, if you like the product, give us a review. That's not allowed. That's against terms of service. And that's obviously your account. So be very careful. There's a whole art to an account here, but generally speaking, you've got to use Amazon PPC to launch it. So I hope that makes sense. Veronica, the profitable leads that you offer in your software are already ungated and free from IP complaints. Yes, IP complaints at the moment, we can never guarantee it. The IP complaints come and go. And this is Fast Track FBA leads, by the way, guys, if you're interested. It's a lead service I create whereby we have a team of sourcing in the USA and UK, and they put all the deals onto our web platform. You get to pick and choose the ones you want. And if there's any problems, you can get refunds. So in regards to ungated, we do what's known as estimations on, we believe you should be ungated on this. We can't guarantee everything because everyone's account's different, but if you are gated, you can get a refund straight away. So do check out Fast Track FBA leads. And also as well, we run every single one through our IP checker. So like, you won't see any brands on there that we know is IP checked. And the moment there is a brand that's got an IP problem, if it's on our deal service, they'll automatically get removed as well. So don't worry about that. But we can never guarantee it, not in the future. So do check it out, Fast Track FBA leads. And yes, they should have a lot of ungated deals on there to help you out and get you started. Mr. AP from India. Hey, Mr. AP from India, good to see you. Ambreen said, how can I make Santander cashback credit card while I'm in Australia, but my business is in USA and I have an LLC? You can't. As far as I'm aware, Santander cashback credit card is for UK businesses only, and I've got one, but I only had to do it I could only do it if I went in person, so it's not really going to work on the USA. Long story short, you're a USA LLC, so you're going to want to do the USA-based things, and they give much better cashback than Santander does. One thing that I'm learning right now is, obviously, you're not a US citizen, so you don't have an SSN. If you want credit cards, you're going to need an Itin. So get your Itin. Once you've got your Itin, you can then apply. I've been trying to apply for credit cards without an Itin, but I do have an EIN number, and unfortunately, I've been unable to do it. So get an Itin, and then start applying for credit cards. My accountant did say, say there, I've got it here somewhere. Ooh, it's around here somewhere, I promise you. There you go, Capital One card. Get your Itin, go for the Capital One card. That's it. That's the one you want to get, apparently. Really good cashback. So there you go, Ambreen. I hope that helps make sense. And obviously, I'm not in the US either, so I will be doing the same as you. Mr. AP, this is a fast-moving product in health and personal care category. Okay, cool. I don't really understand. Give me a little bit more information in the comments down below, Mr. AP. Muslim tools, which prep center do you use and why? Well, in the UK, I use a prep center who only does me. The reason is I started off and we built the software that they use just for us. And because we're doing such volume, they're not really interested in taking anyone else on. They didn't really want to do too much arbitrage, and we've just grown and grown and grown. So they have no interest in taking anyone else on. But I would recommend two companies for you. Fast Pack FBA, not Fast Track, Fast Pack, PACK. The other one, look at We Prep FBA. These guys are based. So you've got Fast Pack FBA, they're in Manchester, in the UK. We Prep FBA is in like the east of England. They're quite cool. And someone else recommends Midlands Fulfillment, although it's been a bit mixed. In the US, if you want to know, we use American Warehouse in New Hampshire. Just Google it. Let them know that I recommended them. They'll buy me a pint one day when I go visit them, but I don't get any kickback or anything. So, but they're in a tax-free state, which I really like. So that's good. But yeah, why do I use them? They're good, and the ones in the UK, they've been recommended by a lot of people. So, and I've only heard really good things, not negative complaints. So that's my point. Mr. Clapson, sounds like USA is good for you, Tom. Business is moderate for me. As I transition from OA to unique bundles, they take a long time to create source lists. So I've been using Fast Track FBA. Fantastic, cool. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, business USA is good. I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy. UK is doing really well as well. You know, like we will go into bundling at some point, but just not yet. And like looking at bundles and wholesale, we're looking to transition the wholesale into 2020 first. So I'm not really going to do any bundles until we've established wholesale well, and then we might look at bundles after that. But you know, Q3 next year, Possibly, we'll see how it goes. All in the pipeline, all strategic planning. But hey, Terry, sounds like you're having fun as well. So thank you for the question. Veronica, if Seller Central allows me to sell a product and the P&L detector shows green and FBA multi-tool says that I'm eligible to sell, am I self-market influence? No, not at all. Not at all. I cannot guarantee you that. If you can sell a product, that means you can sell it. Doesn't mean you get IP complaints. Also, as well, it could be the case that for the last 3 years, no one's done an IP complaint, and then tomorrow their company decide to sign up with a brand protection agency, and all of a sudden everyone gets IP complaints. That does happen. It's not that common. It does happen. So you're never safe from IP complaints, but just make sure you're doing good practice. You're not buying, you've got good receipts, good invoices, and you're doing the due diligence. You can get IP complaints on your account. I promise you that. It's not the end of the world. Just don't get too many. That's the point. So try and always fight them. Don't leave them, and try and get them down. So you're never safe. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. Let me know in the comments down below. Saeed, I think that's right. I don't know. I'm really bad with names. I'm so sorry. My question related to wholesale arbitrage, how to get brand approvals. Most of the time they don't allow selling on Amazon, but their product is being sold by many FBA sellers. How to get brand approval? Well, interesting. If I really understand your point, I'm not the best with wholesale. We don't really do wholesale, but I've done a bit in the past. So I had a really good interview with Todd. Todd was an amazing guy. Check out that interview. It's on the channel. But in regards to like brand approval, doing that, two things you got to think about. First of all, assume nothing. Don't assume that the people on the listing actually have brand approval, because they could be OA sellers just buying it from like Walmart reselling, like same as I do. We don't actually ask for that. Number two is, while the wholesaler you're approaching might not allow selling on Amazon, doesn't mean there might not be another wholesaler who sells that product who doesn't say allow, but doesn't ask the question. So if you don't say you don't know, then you're not doing anything wrong. So that's the way I kind of view it. So find another wholesaler or continue to work with them. Todd did a really good thing. He said, instead of asking, why don't you want sellers selling on Amazon, ask the question, do you mind if I ask, why don't you want, what's the problem with Amazon sellers? And you're kind of taking it away, not like confrontational, you're trying to build a relationship. So I think for you, when you talk about like, they don't allow selling on Amazon, ask the question, like, there will be a lot of sellers out there who say no, but they'll allow a certain few. And you've got to understand why they allow a certain few, and also then become one of those certain few. One thing I always say to people is barriers, i.e. people saying no, is a really good thing. Why? Because if you can overcome those barriers, then those barriers are up for everyone else, and it just makes the competition so much harder. The problem with OA is that it's not really much barrier to buying on Walmart. There really isn't. So anyone else can copy what I'm doing, and as a result, you see the margins drop. But if you go to a good relationship with wholesalers, you can get much better margins. I hope that makes sense. For new Amazon seller and arbitrage, is it necessary to have brand approval if you buy from distributors? No. No, if you're buying from distributors, you pretty much have implied approval because you're buying from authorized, legitimate supply chain, which isn't really arbitrage, it's wholesale. So I hope that makes sense. Hugsy99, on this Q4, I'm selling what I was selling before. Cool. Didn't get the idea to do something special for Q4, and that's why Q4 is not as good. A really bad experience going, need motivation. Well, hey, quick question for you is, Q4 isn't finished yet. It's only really just getting started now. Like 15th onwards is when you start picking up. Let me ask you a quick question. Do you want next Q4 to be equally as bad as this one? Probably not. So the next question you're going to ask is, okay, well, cool. What do I need to do this year to make sure that I learn as much as possible so that next year I can make the best Q4 ever? So this Q4, don't think about it as like I need to do really well. Think about this Q4 as a learning opportunity. I'm going to try lots of bundles. I'm going to try lots of different things, figure it out, see what works, and then I'm going to document the whole that journey. And then next year, I'm going to smash it. It's the same as me. We're doing 50,000 last year. Now, I actually did more in November than I did in December, and then now we're doing 300,000. So you can definitely do it. Like, just got to challenge yourself. And hey, the real question I ask, and I really get about motivation, is really ask, why did you start this business in the first place? I'm guessing it's because you didn't want a job or you wanted to do something. Like, that's your motivation. I'm trying to find out new products to sell in Q4 because I want this, and that's the bigger goal. So really focus on that and do that. So Muslim Tours, I'm happy with your VA for UK business. Fantastic, that's really good, well done. I will be getting my USA one from you soon. Fantastic, cool. Which accountants do you use in USA and how much do you pay? So we looked at a lot of people recommend Ecom CPA. We just started, and I mean just started. We're not using Econ CPA. We're using called AMZ Accountants. Do say that Tom from Fast Track FBA passed the details over. Again, I'd just like them to know that we are, passing them on. But I will say I've only just started with them. Like, we're signing the documents as we speak. But they were recommended for me from a couple of sellers who I know, and they are like, they've sold their businesses private label for 6 figures. So that does help. So I think for you is this in the USA, AMZ Accountants, top of my head, it's probably about just shy of $1,000 US a month, including sales tax. They're based out in New York. Whereas Ecom CPA, their basic package is 1,000, and if you want to go higher, it does it up to like 3,000 US a month, which is like, damn man, that's expensive. And in the UK, I pay way less than 1,000 US. So Ecom CPA, no, Ecom CPA is the one I looked at, but they were too expensive. Everyone recommends them. Not saying they're bad. I just thought they're too expensive. And then we're now going as AMZ Accountants. So do speak to them, let them know, and also just pass on my details. And obviously they'll be like, oh, you're doing arbitrage, same as Tom, fantastic, cool. I had a good chat with them last week. That's really good. Hopefully, Muslim Tours, let me know if that's helpful down in the comments below. Veronica, if Amazon offers global selling service and you are already successful, why are you specifically selling in the US and UK and not on all Amazon marketplaces? Is that difficult or risky? No, not at all. I really understand what you're saying. 2 things. You've got to understand what the global selling service is. Number one, I have products located in England. What Amazon will do is they will go, say, for example, in America, and they'll identify products that I've got in Amazon's warehouses in England, and then they'll go, oh, well, this price in America is really high. What Amazon can do, not me, what Amazon can do is they've detected that they could sell it just below the market price and then buy it off me in the UK at my price and then ship it across the Atlantic and sell it in the US and ship it to that guy in the US, and obviously deal with all the taxes and everything else. So they calculate all this automatically. That's a global selling program. Now, it's kind of like fulfillment by Amazon, but it's not really, because you've got the logistics of shipping products from the US to UK. And as a result, you probably don't win the buy box so much. And Amazon doesn't list everything in all marketplaces. It only does it for selected products when it's competitive. So the net result is like on £300,000 worth of UK sales, I reckon we might sell like £500 to £1,000 in global selling. Like, it's like nothing. So but also as well, like risk diversification as well. Amazon is a lot better now about shutting down accounts, i.e. they don't shut down accounts so regularly. They give you a lot more warning and they give you a lot more protection. You can get them back again. But also as well, like, my God, my business is based on Amazon and they could say no at any point. So what, I'm not planning to do anything black hat or anything dangerous, but there could be something that goes on my account, gets suspended in the UK. So what I'd be quite interested in doing is going, well, actually, we can move that team to the USA for like a week while they can work in the USA, or like we've got another business, another source of income. So again, risk diversification, that's another reason. And we're looking also to sell in Germany. So there's marketplace economies, global selling doesn't really work, and also risk diversification. I hope that makes sense, Veronica. Let me know in the comments down below. Mr. AP, I mean curriculum is fast moving products is true and are not because I sell coming in. No, I'm really sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. I don't understand what you're saying. Like, selling. I'm just gonna have a quick look now. You said kind of like, this is fast moving health and this is. Oh, are you trying to say? I don't know. What's that kind of like the spice? Oh my God, I've forgotten what it's called. Is it a fast moving? I don't know. Like, you need to do the analytics on Keeper, Sales Rank, use like Jungle Scout, Free Estimator. That can tell you if it's a fast moving product. If it sells well in India, fantastic. Have a look on the other marketplaces, see if you can sell it there as well. That's what I say. Do your due diligence. Really, really good. I hope that makes sense. Sorry, I'm just not really too clear on what your question is. Ambreen, will you provide the top 100 list with proper step-by-step numbering to virtual assistants who are trained for you for your client free, please, or not? So we do provide the top 100 list, but we do it in alphabetical order, and we provide that for free. But if you are interested in the top 100 list, in which, i.e., which stores, this store is the one that we found the most deals in over the last year, then the second, then the third, then the fourth. If that's what you mean by step numbering, we do provide that, but I think it's about £100, $100. So you do have to pay for that. We don't provide that one for free, and also you can get that through our website. So you get the free one, and there is you do that, but we don't provide the the ordered one, we say, in most successful store for free. So yeah, go check that one out. Cool. The online buyer. Hey, what is your net profit on your UK sales? In order to scale, would you say you've lowered your ROI in order to find more products to sell? Well, my net profit is between me and my accountants and my team, and there is a reason. I'm not going to explain it too much detail, but let's put it this way: we make good money, and I make more money than I can spend, way more than I can spend, and I'm very happy. We don't make more than 10%, but we're not too far from it. I think that's a good example to say. If you can achieve 10% doing online arbitrage after all costs, and you've got to realize I do like an hour and a half a week, so I have quite a big team, and we're still trying to grow, so we have more capacity in that team than we probably need. We're not the most efficient. And then if you can get 10%, then I say you're doing really well. Now, you are going to see a lot of people who are probably doing more than 10%, but they'll be doing a lot less revenue. And as a result, they're more efficient. But you got to think, I make more than 10, not more than 10%, less than 10%, but more than I can spend in a month. And I'm really happy with it. And I only do an hour and a half a week on the business. So for me, that's my thing. But again, it's for you what you're interested in. Now, in order to scale, have you lowered your ROI? Well, basically what we've done, we've just matched the market price. We really understand that. And there's a lot of things you've got to think about. So for us, we haven't matched the market price. And what has that meant? Well, actually, it has meant that the ROI has lowered. Why? Because especially in the UK, we have seen a decline in the general, what we've been able to achieve in our ROI over time as we've grown. Now, that might be a good or a bad thing, and it's up to you and your business. For us, we've been happy to do that because of the way we're looking at growing the business. But quite simply, yeah, we've seen a decline in the market as we've grown, and that's quite common. But we've got some plans in place, which I won't go into yet. I'll let you know in Q3 next year how that's going. But the idea is we've got some plans to really improve that over the coming year. But one thing at a time, pick your battles. And right now, I'm really, really happy with the businesses. Yes, the revenue is amazing, but also as well, the profits are really good. So I hope that makes sense, Mr. Online Buyer. Veronica, I'm already overwhelmed because I've seen that I can't sell the products from my niche. I have the products and suppliers plus analysis tools, but I can't sell them and it's late for Xmas. What do you suggest you do? Go find products that you can sell. When I talk about this when you're doing deal analysis, there are 3 things you want to check when you're doing deal analysis: profit, ROI, and sales per month. They're really good. But prior to that, you need to check 2 things. Can I actually sell the product, and can I ship it into Amazon if I'm doing FBA? Long story short, if you can't sell the product, the rest of it all means nothing. Like I can't make, I can make ROI if I can sell the product, but it's pointless. Like stop wasting your time with products that you can't sell. It's not worth it. Don't bother. You go get Wholesale, get ungated, or sell enough volume that you can naturally get ungated by automatic ungating. In the US, we did it this year. We reached about $7,000 in sales, and we could literally get ungated in quite a lot of stuff. So, top tip for you: do that. But stop worrying about products you can't sell. Yes, I know you've got suppliers. I know you've got all the analysis. If you can't sell it, it doesn't really mean anything. So, focus your energy on stuff that you can achieve, not that you can't. I hope that makes sense. Sorry, Veronica, I know it's not probably what you want to hear, but it's a hard truth. Ambreen. So my 192 units showing in reserve from many days, and abruptly they vanish from Seller Central and FBA shipments doing 0. How can I find them, please? You're going to have to, you go into the shipment, Amazon Seller Central inventory shipments, go into the shipment itself. You're going to have to wait because there's nothing you can do. You have to wait until you can click investigate. That's it. So what's happened is Amazon's moving them around, they show up and then they disappear. It does happen. You can't do anything for 30 days. I think it's 30 days, don't quote me. But you have to wait until you can click investigate, and then you click investigate, and then Amazon will investigate. If you try and raise the Seller Central case now, all that's going to happen is Amazon will just come straight back and say, sorry, this shipment isn't eligible to investigate, please wait. That's it. That's what happens. There's nothing you can do. You've got to wait for, I think it's 30 days, and then you can ask them to investigate, and you can go through, ask them to find out, hey, what happened to 192 units? I know it's an absolute pain, but unfortunately, this is the nature of the business we work in. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really bad, but you should get those items back. And I'm guessing obviously you've got the receipts for them as well to prove that you purchased them. So when you ask them to investigate, you can actually send the receipts and go, I did buy these products, here's the evidence, I bought them. And also the other one, which I really recommend, when you ship the boxes in, I'm really, really hoping that you put in the weight of the boxes correctly. You didn't just guess what it would be, you put them correctly. And the reason is when you ship in the boxes and you put in the weight, what they do is, let's say, for example, I don't know, my phone, let's say it's 1 kilogram, and I shipped in 10 of them. Well, that means it's going to be a 10 kilogram box. Now, if I just said, yeah, whatever, 2 kilograms, doesn't matter, Amazon are going to come back to my shipment and go, well, Tom, you said you shipped 10 items and they're 1 kilogram each. And you said the box is 2 kilograms. So that doesn't add up. So we're going to give you 2. That's what happens. So just make sure you're doing everything right, getting it all, putting the correct shipment value, weights in. They do reconciliation by weight to make sure it's actually physically arrived in the warehouse. And if they accept that, then you'll probably get them back. So, and obviously have the receipts, super important. Hope that makes sense. Olivia says, so Tom, if one gets an Itin as an international seller, does that mean that one needs to file and pay tax in USA as well as a country of residence? Your accountant will deal with this for you. So basically an Itin is an international tax identification number. It means you've got a tax number, but you are not a resident of the US. And so I'm not an expert as far as I'm aware. You will need to file taxes in the US, but you always need to file taxes if you're selling in the US. But your taxes will just be, I'm not a resident, that's it, done, and your accountant will deal that with you. And they'll basically just be like, where are you a resident of? UK, for example, and then that's it. They don't ask you more questions. If you say you're like, I'm a resident of North Korea, they might be a little bit more investigating and ask to see evidence of taxes being paid. But if it's any like big country, you should be fine. So your accountant will deal with all that. And the ITIN is, and interesting enough, I did do the research. If you're looking to get credit cards, you don't need an ITIN by law, but no one will actually allow you to create an account without an ITIN or an SSN. So it's the credit card providers who are stopping you. So hence why you need it. Right now, if you want to know, there's about a 13-week delay on getting them. So it takes 13 weeks of processing. So I'm doing mine at the moment, and hopefully I'm going to get it this month. I'm really praying. So I hope that makes sense. Olivia says, sorry, file, pay taxes. Yeah, again, you know, the US, they want to know where all the money is at all times. They're not saying you've got to pay anything. You just got to state what you've done. Like, and again, it's really complex. So like, if you've got an LLC, again, I'm not an accountant, but LLCs are like, all they are is like a shell around something, like a wrapper. And it could be you as an individual, i.e. the money comes from the Amazon account through into the LLC and then to you as an individual. And then the US will want to see that you have paid taxes on it. You can do it whereby, for me, for example, we have an LLC, and then in the LLC, we have what's known as a C Corp. And that's whereby that's a separate company, like a limited company. So it's like a company, and they're protected by a limited liability company, a shell wrapper, and we're taxed as like a company. So then the money doesn't come to me, so I don't need to prove anything that I'm paying taxes on it because the taxes are paid through the C Corp. Again, speak to your accountant. It gets complex. Speak to them. That's what I say. Interesting, if you want to know, the guy at AMZ Accountants, like really helpful, like super helpful. He's like, Tom, I'll help you with personal accounts. We'll make it work for you. He'll kind of help talk you through the best tax strategy. So I really recommend just booking a call with them, say you're interested. Obviously, pass my name on. That's really good. Muslim Talks. Tom, why did your IN take so long, and is that normal? Yes, really, 13 weeks normal. I think we had to use what's known as a signing agent, because if you don't use a signing agent, you have to send your actual passport in. But if you use a signing agent, then they authenticate it and then send a copy in, so they've seen the original. So it's just US government takes a long time. They don't really care about people outside the country, and obviously COVID. Maybe they do. I don't know. It's me. It just takes a long time. It takes a while. Ambreen. So you're Ambreen. So are you also providing the ultimate sourcing sheet for free to us when we pay for your VA training? No, the ultimate sourcing sheet is an additional cost in addition to VAs. I'd like to think that the VA training at £597, which includes finding, hiring, training, and supporting you for 12 weeks. I mean, we get 7 days worth of training. That's a lot of value. I mean, we've got a lot of clients. That is really good value for money for 597. Like, we have a lot of people going like, how are you doing it so cheap? Like, really, like the VA Academy itself is an amazing service, and a lot of people, I think over 340 VAs we've trained now. That shows you how much value it brings, and it's a great price point. So unfortunately, the USS is an additional cost on top of that you will need to pay for if you want it. But I think hopefully you'll find value in it as well. And a lot of people who used it do really like that as well. So Hauser has come on. Tom, I have 2 personal credit cards and a Capital on Tap card. Fantastic. Is there a way I can put all my spend credit through the Capital on Tap card and take advantage of the one account? Yeah, you can. Like, again, I'm not an accountant. Top things. I'm going to share some things with you that I did. I just need some coffee. 1 second. So I'm assuming you have a limited company because you've got a Capital on Tap card. What did I do? I went to Stripe, if you want to know, and you can do it through Stripe or like Zero. You can do it through Zero. I basically went to Stripe and I asked them for I want to create a website. Can I have an account, please? Doesn't cost you anything. Then what I did is I got my 2 personal credit cards, and I basically, say for example, they got like 8 grand on them. I think one of them's got 8 grand. I basically paid 8 grand from the personal credit card through the Skype to dump that money into the business. And you could do that for both of yours. And then once it's in the business, and that's you doing a director's loan from your personal credit cards to the business. Now, once the money's in the business, obviously you're going to lose about 3% fee on that. Then you can start cycling. Then you spend all the money on the capital credit card, and you might spend it in a day, 2 days. We spend it in a week, and we're like £55,000. So like that's our limit on capital. So you could spend it in a week and then clear it down with the cash you've just bought in from the personal credit cards. And so you can cycle the capital on credit card multiple times within a month. I think we do it probably on average 4 times a month, so like 200,000 we run through it. So you can do that, and then obviously you're going to get the 1% cash back. Top tip for you, and I will just share this with you now, be very mindful that 1% cash back, if you want to get that into your personal, the 1% cashback only goes into your business bank account because it's the bank linked to the credit card where you do your direct debit payments from to repay the minimum amount. If you do want to make it into your personal bank account, then what you've got to do is you've got to change the direct debit payments from the business bank account to your personal, which you probably shouldn't do, but that's the only way you can get the money back. For me personally, we rack up Avios, and obviously I'm just going to spend them on plane tickets. That's it. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know down below if that's useful. The other way you can do it, I think if you do it with Zero, instead of using Stripe, you can use Zero. And with Zero, you can create an invoice. And then with the invoice, you can create what's known as a card payment link. And then also it will process the card transaction. So what do? We create an invoice in Zero to say, director's loan, Tom, £8,000. And then all I do is I'll send that invoice to myself. I click the card pay now link to the bill, and also pay, and then the money goes into my bank account minus the fee, and voila, now I've transferred that money from my Santander card into my personal credit card into the business, and then I cycle it through Capital on Tap. I hope that makes sense. Veronica said, if I get your membership in Fast Track FBA, will I receive support when I have doubts about prep centers, suppliers? I mean, I need support now, I'm struggling. And at the start, I need to go on. No, you like if I give you a quick clip, we don't do anything like, I know what you're after. You're kind of like, weekly coaching or like mentoring one-to-one, for example, is not something that we offer. This is probably the closest thing right now, this YouTube Live. And in effect, when you sign up to Fast Track FBA Leads, you're getting the lead service, or when you're getting the VA Academy, you're getting the VA Academy service, and everything is focused around that. What we're not here to do is to give you general advice about your whole Amazon business. I like talking about prep center suppliers. If you want that, 2 top things I'd really recommend. Number 1, ask in the Facebook group. You'll still get our feedback, but also get other people doing their opinions. And then number 2 is obviously like this call here. Here's where we kind of give you some feedback. So we can give you a bit of support in this call, but it's a very defined time frame, i.e. like 1 hour a week, which shared with everyone else. It's not like a service which you can pay for. So I hope that makes sense. I do coaching, but I really don't recommend it. It's £230 per hour, which is a lot of money. And I really think it's got to be for people who are like, they have a very specific problem they're struggling with, and then obviously I can help them with that. So and that wouldn't be really about getting started. I think you can learn that a lot better just by asking in the groups. So save your money. Honestly, don't spend it on me. I promise you that. Mr. AP, Jungle Scout and Helium 10, which is accurate in sales estimating opinion, that's helped me. Did I? Do both of them? Take the average. I don't know the answer. They both complain. They both say that they're the most accurate, and I'm like, I don't know the answer. Here's a top tip for you, Mr. AP. Go get a product, sell the product, find out how many sales you're making, and then go look at Jungle Scout and Helium 10 and see which one's the closest to your sales. Use that. That's the only thing I can really say. Prove it with your data. Yeah, that makes sense. Max M, which do you prefer, Seller Toolkit versus Seller Board? We used to use Seller Board. Top tip for you, 1 second. We use Seller Toolkit now, but if you are a brand new seller, I like Seller Board. Why? 2 month free trial. There we have a link somewhere. You can just do fasttrackfba.com/tools. You get all my links, and we have like a link for Seller Board, which gives you a 2 month free trial. Check that out. I think you really like it. Number 2 is the fact that Seller Board has a really good functionality in regards to it sends out the automated emails to request people to do reviews. So you can build up reviews, because you will get a 1-star review one day. It's a nightmare, but if you've got a couple 5 stars already, it's going to really help you. Now, the interesting thing is Seller Board, the link on there, you can change from a product review to a seller review. So if you're an arbitrage or wholesale seller, you don't care about product reviews, you care about seller reviews. That's what you want. So Seller Board can help you create those. I did create a video on it. It's on YouTube. Check it out. About a year ago, I did it actually in November. And you can do that link, and it's really, really helpful. So I'd really recommend, if you're just thinking about both of them, try Seller Board out for the first 2 months. Have a look, fasttrackfba.com/tools. You'll see a link to all my tools, and there's an affiliate link there. I do get a kickback, but it does give you an extra month worth of free Seller Board access. Try that, use it for the 2 months. It does do your profit software, and you're probably going to be a new seller, so you're not too worried about the AT. There's slightly different ways it handles that. It's not really the end of the world. And then once you're happy with that, maybe go try Seller Toolkit. Again, there's another link on that tools page. You get a 14-day free trial. I really like Seller Toolkit. Why? And the reason why I like it is a couple of reasons. It's kind of like an all-in-one software. So it does profit, which I really like. And number 2, it does repricing, which I like as well. And again, it's just, you know, profit and repricing at the same time. And then number 3 is the fact that it does what's known as the reclaims, inventory reclaims. There's so much software out there right now which will find you missing stock. They all charge you a fee. They do a lot of stuff. And interestingly, our Seller Toolkit does that at no extra cost, and it does it really well. So what you can do, and if you want to be really good, is to do the Seller Toolkit version first, get the fees back, the majority of the stock, and then go use one of the paid for services to get any additional. But what you are going to do is only pay what's left, i.e. what Seller Toolkit missed. So the amount you're paying to the third-party services for the charge is going to be a lot less. So you can do that. And that maybe I need to do a video on that. I should do that video third-party reclaims versus STK. Good idea. Thank you very much, Mr. M. Max. Olivia has jumped in. Say, wow, I didn't take so long as EAN to get. Yeah, agreed. Good times. Thanks for the referral. The EMD accountants. Cool. Yeah, do let them know. Honestly, do let them know. I'm going to take a nice little screenshot of that. Save. Save. Cool. And yeah, do let them know that I think, and obviously, I'm glad I can help. Yeah, get an Itin. Cool. Alligator, I think that's right. Are you paintball fighting or something? No, it's actually shooting. Dear Tom, in upcoming 2020, which 2 niches do you recommend start Amazon private label? My God, I don't do private label. I would not even be able to help you at all. And so, like, not that I don't want to. My God, I have no experience at all. If you're in the UK, look at Scale for Retail. I like their group. I've met them in person. They can help you with private label. US, I don't know. There's a lot of goods in the US, but I just can't help you because I don't have experience, and like I mean, even my best guess would be like completely like it wouldn't be helpful. So I'm really sorry. I won't be able to answer that question because it's just pointless, and I'd rather not give bad information I'd rather give no information than bad. So sorry. The online buyer, do you use any other cashback? So capital on tap, cashback. Okay, so credit card wise, we use top cashback, capital on tap, Amex Gold, and Santander business cashback 1%. Again, the business cashback comes into into the business. Amex, interesting enough, what you can do is you can spend on the Amex card and then use the points to pay off the spend, so it doesn't hit 0 on the account, so there's no spend. So that is a different way of doing it. It's not the most efficient, but you can do it with Amex, and that's a charge card, not a credit card. So we do use that. It works out well. I did check yesterday. We have like 400,000 Amex points and 320,000 capital on tap Avios points, which is like incredible. So a couple of first-class return tickets, I think, to Mexico, which I'm really honestly like one of the benefits of doing arbitrage and using cashback sites. So that's cashback cards. Now cashback sites, UK and US, we both use Top Cashback. I think that's the primary one. If you're lower in sales volume, do check out Complete Savings. It's a bit hard to set up an account. You've got to figure out like who their things are and then go through a transaction. But it's 10%, so it does work really well. And we used to use delivery deals as well, but they're only for low volume. Like, you know, I think last week we spent like £80,000 on stock. Like, you can spend a maximum of £2,500 through Complete Savings, and then if you do that for like 2-3 months, they'll cancel your account. So we just stopped using them. We just solely do Top Cashback. So we use Top Cashback now and Quidco. That's it. And then in the US, we use Top Cashback and Rakuten, I think it is. They're the 2 that we use. So we'll see how it goes. Interesting. My team did £1,600 worth of cashback last week through top cashback. I was like, that's insane. So that's like, we've never done that high before. Normally it's like 700-800. So very, very interesting. And obviously that isn't even accepted. That's just what's come through. So very interesting. But that's what we use cashback wise. Ed147 from England, how to calculate the exact sales of a product on Amazon. Get a calculator, honestly, get a calculator. Buybot Pro, SAS, FBA Multi-Tool, I think they all do like a free trial. And the reason is they all have calculators, they all have estimators on them. The exact sales you're never going to know. Like I promise you this, you'll never know the exact sales of these products because Amazon doesn't share that information. Jungle Scouts, FBA Multi-Tool, all these things, you just need to kind of have a feel for them. Look at Keeper, get a feel, and you'll kind of get an idea. No one really knows the true answer. That's it. I appreciate time. I'm going to have to go going a little bit faster. Sorry. It's been really fun, actually. Thank you. Honestly, thank you for your time. Honestly, your questions. What do you use for Amazon FBA product research monthly sales estimator? Historical data, if you really want to know. Buy a product, sell it, see what works, and you're just going to get a feel. If I give you a really good example, like I kind of roughly know what sales rank will do what sales in Amazon. So my purchasing manager will know it way better than I do. So they'll like look at what's selling in the past. They'll be like, wow, this product. They'll look at the Keeper chart. They'll know roughly where it is, and they'll be like, wow, that's selling like hotcakes. The next time they see that Keeper chart, while the tool might say like 30 sales a month, they're going to be like, ha, that's doing way more than 30. I know that one. So they'll buy big. That's called intuition experience. So yes, Jungle Scout free sales estimator, look at Keeper charts, look at your tools, definitely. Learn from the data. I promise you that. Learn from the data. Learn what sells. So I hope that makes sense. Veronica, could you please talk a little bit more about your fast track services? So I'll do it really quick because I appreciate time and obviously I don't want to sell to everyone. So fast track FBA is a fundamental thing. We kind of help people with we do 3 products. One, we do online arbitrage leads for USA and UK. This is, we tell you what product to buy low to resell high on Amazon. And the way we do that is with a team of sources looking for deals 7 days a week. And we do it very differently. You get a lot of people do like deal sheets, you get X number of deals per day. We don't do that. What we do is our team will find all the deals. We put them onto our web platform. We show you all the information about them, 90 days, Keeper charts, etc., etc. And then what you do is you buy tokens from us, and then you exchange those tokens to unlock deals, and you get a supplier URL and Amazon link. If there's any problems, you can get refunded on your tokens like straight away, no problems. So that's leads. We also do VAs. So we find, hire, and train virtual assistants to support you in your business and to find online arbitrage deals. US, UK, we've also done Canada as well and some Europe, but really US and UK focus. And that's what they do. And we support you for 12 weeks. And we've got 170 clients and over 340 VAs, I think it is, rough check. And then finally, the USS, which is like a sheet, which is about generating data and insights from your existing data to help you grow your Amazon business by using what's working in your business. Think about like the 80-20 rule. 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of the work. We just want to make you do more of that, like grow it simply. And we've seen really good success, like really good success. And we've got like, I think about 100 people now using that. And obviously really positive reviews. And there's a lot of support with that as well. So they're the 3 services. Have a look at Amazon. You can see that as well. Obviously like YouTube. Okay, got to fire through. How high, House Paradise High, how long for you team to reprice your stock? Trying to streamline as much as it takes 2 VAs and faster care, 2.5 hours a day. Wow, that's amazing. It's 5 hours a day of man hour. Use automation. Seller toolkit. We use we have standard rule. We have another rule. Then another rule. We use automation to automatically move between them. And then what do? We assume everything's going to work, and then we track the sales, i.e., what's actually selling, and what the result is. And if there's like we're making losses, for example, maybe something's not selling well, we'll have a look at it. I think right now a current stat is that we have like 700 products, of which maybe 15 are being manually repriced. That's it. Doesn't take 2.5 hours a day or 5 hours a day. And you're using Seller Central and Profit Protector Pro can be finicky. Yeah, we just use automation. We use rules with, and then we change between the rules and automation in the Seller Toolkit. That's it. Very simple. Hope that makes sense. I don't know the time, but I'd guess maybe tops an hour a day. Absolute tops, absolute tops. If I was doing more than that, I'd be questioning my purchasing manager, like what he's doing, wasting his time. Veronica, when you started selling on Amazon, did you match your products to existing listings? Yes, I did. And how? of how did you start and how long did it take you to start. I've done it 4 years. If you want to know, we did 50,000 a month at the end of last year, and probably the year before that, we're doing like 20,000 a month. So I won't lie, probably like it took a year to get to like 15,000 a month. No, I didn't really do very much. Got to 2025 year 2. Year 3, we got to like 50,000 a month, and then year 4, we're now on 300,000 a month. So the growth has been recently. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, it's taken a while. And thank you for thinking I'm successful. I hope you like to think I'm. Ambreen, I don't have an accountant yet, but I have a seller board that shows me what I'm going on in my business. Can you tell me why an accountant is important for your business? Seller board is, so at the end of the day, seller board is only going to tell you, is only as good as the information you put in. If you're putting the information in wrong, i.e. you haven't written the fees correctly, i.e. like prep fees, or maybe the cost of goods correctly, or haven't accounted for something, or maybe in your fixed costs, then while you might think you're making money, you're not. So also as well, let me give you a quick example. Let's say, for example, you bought 10 items of stock and you ship them into Amazon, and 5 sold. Now, say they're $10 each. Well, you might be like, well, my revenue was $10, fantastic. So I've made like $10 revenue, $50. So $10 each, 5 of them sold, $50. Now that's right, because that's how many you sold, and that's what seller board will get its data from. But if you actually counted your stock, you might have 10 minus the 5 you sold. But also Amazon might have lost 2. So actually you haven't sold 5, you've made $50 revenue, but your asset value, you think you'd have like the equivalent of $50 worth of revenue left to sell. You don't. Now you have 30. And you don't understand that until you do accounting, and you do what's known as your cost of goods, open and closing stocks. And your accountants will do that. They'll show you balance sheets, they'll show you open and closing stocks. They'll also make you compliant. So super, super important. And also just making sure you're compliant. So, while I have 3, soon to be 5 admin VAs who can do it all, and I can do the accounts myself, still got an accountant. It's just not worth my time. Focus your energy on growing your business, not doing all the administrative stuff. It's not worth it. You don't add value in that. Pay for experts. That's what they're here to do. They help keep you compliant. Michael, hey, I've been selling books on Amazon UK for a few months, and I'm looking to sell on Amazon USA too. What would you have done to find? What would I have to do other than to find a prep center? Go look for a guy called Seth Baker. He sells on Amazon USA doing books. He has a prep center that he'll tell you. Honestly, just type in my group, hey, is Seth Baker there? I'm looking for a prep center USA to help me sell books. They'll do not only FBM, but they'll also do FBS, fulfillment by merchant, through the prep center for your books. Trust me, it's game changing. Do that. I promise you, do that. And if you're not finding a prep center, I'm guessing you're not in the US, so other than not having a prep center, you have to do it yourself, which isn't an option. Right, last couple of questions. I'm going to finish them quick. How long does it take you to make your first meal and your second meal? Like 3 years, and then like 3. We're trying to do a meal in 3 months. The second one now. So it's just numbers. It's just revenue. Anyone can sell a product and make no profit. It's about the profit which makes. Don't just focus on the revenue. Great question. Ed, hi again. How long does Amazon keep my stock for if it doesn't sell? Yes, you get charged a fee every month. It's called monthly storage fees. Look in Seller Central, you'll see that. And how long does Amazon keep my stock? They'll keep it there forever, as long as you pay them. They're not going to be happy. You're going to get a lot of like issues around like IP warnings, etc. Not IP warnings, IPI. Things, but they will keep it there forever, pretty much. So no real issue, but you're going to struggle with managing your stock flow, and you will be charged, obviously, and you can get long-term storage fees, so they do rack up. Rana, best website to do arbitrage deals, and what is the criteria to select the product for arbitrage minimum profit? Most people do £3 profit, 30% ROI. Best website to get arbitrage deals, have a look at my YouTube channel. I have like channels which is like 5 best sites to find arbitrage deals, and we do it from the data we found. Last question for the day, Ed. Also, it is possible for me to get the buy box as an FBA and UB? Yes, just make sure your price is right and you're definitely doing FBA. That's it. Get your price. You might have to be quite a bit lower than the next FBA to be able to win it, but as you build up your experience, you'll do better. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a real pleasure. I finished on the hour, and thank you so much for spending your time. Thank you for your questions, and thank you for everything. It's been a real enjoyable session today. I loved it. And I'm not falling asleep, unlike last week, which was really bad. So honestly, from me to you, thank you so much for your time. I think, some really good questions here. Just keep driving forward, keep asking questions, join the Fast Track FBA Facebook group. That's where, you ask the questions in there. People will give you their feedback, and it's not just me, other people as well. So that will really help you out. But I just want to say thank you so much for joining me. Good luck with all your Amazon businesses. Keep smashing it. And obviously I will see you same time next week. Take care. Bye-bye.